Let's see. What up? What up? What
What
up? It's
up?
your boy Big Mar, and I got my cousin here,
P
P
Money.
Money, and we are about to talk about the Nickelodeon Doc that's been sweeping the nation and ruining childhoods everywhere. um, I was actually recording this video. I planned on recording this video solo, and as I was doing it, I just was like, it don't feel right. I definitely need
Right.
somebody to bounce off of because it was a lot of jumping around, a lot of skipping around, and probably stuff that I was gonna forget that somebody else could be like, oh, hey, remember this happened, and I could do the same thing for them. So I felt like it was necessary to me to have a partner, and the first person I thought of was my cousin because I know damn well if I watched it, I know she watched it.
Absolutely.
So tell them a little bit about yourself, P. Little P Money. Tell them a little bit about yourself, and we can get
About
started.
me. Well, I am a TV documentary connoisseur, so you definitely caught the right person. You already know.
Go with mommy for a second, mama. Yeah, yeah,
You
and
are
I
so
plan on
funny.
having her on. I plan on having you on a lot more, and I know this your first time doing something like this, and I hope you have fun with it and realize that you want to do this and talk with us, do this full time. Well, not full time. Hopefully, we could do it full time. But and I know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, y'all. A lot of stuff to touch on. So I am going to do my best to remember to touch on everything to the best of my knowledge. And if I don't, I'm sure she will remind me. So, where do you want to start?
You watched all four parts, right?
I did.
Okay, because Hulu and HBO was on two different pages, but we can start from the beginning. Can we start with the little boy? I can't remember their names right now. I should have wrote them down. But the boy, when he was like, I was uncomfortable in the leotards and they had me be a superhero. You know what I'm talking about?
With the nose boy.
Yeah, nose boy. And he was like, you could tell that they were supposed to be like penises on the shoulders.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was like,
It was a little bit of a
it
reach.
was. I was like,
It was a little bit of a
were
reach, but
they?
I
I didn't see penises until you
I didn't
mentioned it, but I definitely
until
saw
you
nose boy.
mentioned it.
Yeah. And I was like, And then I was just like, I mean, who are comfortable in leotards? It's just some of it I was kind of like, how you could, I don't know if you've ever been in an uncomfortable situation before, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't even realize something is uncomfortable until later. So when people be like, oh, at the time I was thinking like, this is crazy. I'm like, no, you wasn't.
Mm.
You wasn't sitting there thinking like this is nuts. You probably went home later and maybe thought about it, but in the moment, I've been in too many uncomfortable situations to understand. I know when I know at that moment I just be like okay, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. I
But
was I got it. I understood it. I
mhm.
feel like it was a thing that he looked back as an adult and oh snap. A thing he looked back at as an adult and was like, yeah, that looked a little weird. But
Yeah,
the
later. Yeah.
the actual action of the skit though,
Hmm.
of the shooting of the snot on the face is kind of
Hmm.
wild, and it wasn't the first time something like that happened.
It
You know
wasn't the
what I'm
first time I
saying?
heard them mention that either because you remember the boy from Chris Massey from Zoe 101?
Mm-hmm.
He was on Nasty Classifieds podcast and he mentioned that a couple months ago. And that was the first time I heard of it. So when I seen it on the Nickelodeon thing, I was like, damn, that was a real thing. Like, You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that is a man's joke. So I'm not gonna discredit that one. That's a man's joke.
So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of this. Like, we could touch on, let's first, like, because we did touch on, we kind of gone in the way of where the documentary went, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's touch on the treatment of the workers, the set, the cast and crew. Let's touch on that, and then we'll go into like how the actual kids was feeling. Um,
Okay.
she Chloe back there just gonna keep talking up a storm in the background.
That's funny.
Uh,
Honey's here too. She knocked out. She
the
knocked out. She was like, "I'm here
actual,
for a night."
if they don't, if y'all have been under a rock, right? The creator of all of this stuff is Dan Schneider. He got his big break on writing, on being on the TV show called Head of the Class. He actually co-wrote that
He
and
co-wrote
ended
what?
up getting it. He co-wrote the show that he co-wrote the show that he got his break on, called
Oh,
Head
okay.
of the Class.
Yeah, I seen
Then
them. They
he
mentioned
ended,
that like real briefly.
yeah. Then he ended up going to Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon came to him like, "Yo, we were trying to start a sketch show for kids," and it started all that. Now the perception of I got of it is he was cool as hell until he started getting power. And the more
Mhm.
power he got, the worse he got. Because everybody described him as in the beginning as a kind, lighthearted guy, a big kid.
He was fun. Hmm.
It's fun to be around. All oh, okay, baby. Daddy, recording, baby. Okay. You want a watermelon? Okay, Daddy, will get you a watermelon tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, he was considered to be, like I said, nice, cool, and all that type of stuff. And as the power struggle went, as he got more power, he got worse and worse. The first thing that stuck out to me, right, was the way he told the women writers um, that they had to split one salary.
Hmm.
That was crazy enough. I feel like everything started with the women workers. I feel like everything's like that was like the start of it was with the women writers, with them making them split shifts and then hiring other men. Oh, okay, baby. Hiring the other writers and giving them a full salary and making them split a salary and making them
Right.
do strange
Which,
little tasks and all that.
yeah, which wasn't uncommon in the 80s and 90s. That was not uncommon. They not the first, they not the last
Okay,
to have had
baby.
to do that. Um, it's unfortunate, but women have been going through that, especially when we started like really entering the work field. So
Mm-hmm.
that was already kind of understandable. I was just like, okay, like he
But
wasn't
see,
right, but it was like, okay, we heard this
but
story
see, I think
before.
I think in the grand scheme of things, right? We're
Hmm.
talking from a standpoint of what we know of today, right? We're not talking in
Exactly.
the standpoint of what's going
Of
on
then.
in
Hmm.
1992. Because in
But in
1990,
1992, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the reason why they wasn't gonna speak up because it was so common back then. Like if they wanted to keep
right,
their roles, they were gonna like accept whatever type of bullshit was thrown at them just because they felt lucky enough to have the positions.
right, and from the
So,
point of they ended up suing them for gender discrimination. They got an
mhm.
undisclosed amount. Of course, they're not gonna say it on TV, but it didn't look like they was living bad. I can tell you that.
Okay, that
Um,
one girl was looking fine because when they showed her back in the day pictures and now, I was like, girl, you fine
I
now.
said, like, you talk about the skinny one because she was fine. I'm like,
Mhm.
damn,
She was
okay.
fine. I was like,
I
damn,
mean,
but
the
it was
bigger,
right.
the
I was like,
bigger
damn.
Jenny. I think Jenny and Chrissy. I think the bigger lady. She wasn't a bad looking lady. They was living good. They wasn't struggling. Um,
Facts. But the one chick, the one chick, you could tell she went kind of far. So that settlement helped her. That settlement helped her.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad. I ain't mad at her. And I'm a little biased. I don't care. I'm still not fully mad at Dan until I'm sorry to jump ahead, but until Amanda Bynes and Jamie Lynn Spears come out and tell their stories, the documentary wasn't really about him. Like, okay, he was unfair. This is a man's world. All right, whoop de doo. Do he deserve to go to jail for that? No. Do he
And I
deserve to go to
think,
jail for his feet fetish? No. Do he deserve to go to jail for cum shots? No.
and that's the thing, right? People are saying he deserves jail time, and I'm like, well, he he does deserve some backlash.
Absolutely.
Jail time, I don't. Jail time, I don't know because he's not putting them. Well, I would say he put them women in different in a power struggle position,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he never sexually assaulted somebody, right? So when you
Allegedly,
had this
as
conversation,
far as we know.
allegedly, as far as we know for the documentary,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
now,
In
and
this
when we look
particular
at,
documentary, they did not mention that happened. They mentioned the three people. They mentioned the three people that did
and we
do
gonna
wrong.
we
They
gonna
had to.
touch that.
Okay, but
We gonna get under
my
we gonna get
homeboy
that because see
Dan.
that's the meat and potatoes. But as far as Dan, when we talk about right, because then here comes the talk of white privilege, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a white privileged male. This male did this and he made people feel away.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he made people feel away, but he never told the writer or kid, yo, do this sexual act or do a sexual act to get further in life that we know of.
Right.
Now he might have put you in an uncomfortable position of giving him massages or anything of that sort or being too close to a kid. But as far as ever touching a kid and or making people do sexual acts to get further along, we don't know that allegedly.
Right.
Unlike
No.
unlike a person that we've seen go through this, like a Bill Cosby or even the white privilege standpoint, a Harvey Weinstein, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Harvey Weinstein making women and men do sexual acts to get further in their career. Now, if he doesn't get charged or anything in that manner, now we talking about now we're talking about the actual act of harassment and all that stuff that we expect to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that the white privilege thing really falls under this umbrella with Dan Snyder.
Facts. 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 Still, the whole thing really, really like made me so sad just to watch it because the people that were victims to the other staff, the staff that we didn't know that well, right?
Right.
Um, that shit is fucked up because
But it was just like, but you can see like I ain't gonna lie, when that lady was talking about
you talking about her daughter.
hold on. Happy birthday. Thank you. No, when if you remember, they was in the writers' room and they was talking about high school during the Amanda show, and he said you should tell
They
that
talking about
story
who?
and act like you're being. They was talking about high school, and he
Oh,
told
high
her you
school.
should
Yeah,
act like you're being sodomized and to
yeah.
tell that story.
That was fucking weird.
That was weird and uncomfortable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Facts.
that's a power struggle, but you know what I'm saying? Back then, as an aspiring writer, knowing the climate and knowing like you doing your dream, I'm sure she didn't want to do it, and she just did it to just like
She
I,
shake his
I know
head.
reluctantly, but no, you got to do it. I know it's not your birthday, baby. I promise you, she do this every time I'm trying to do something. I know you're not my mommy.
I'm not your mommy. She's so funny.
I know you're not. I know you're not Mila, baby. Anyway, um, it was just those workers. Those workers went through a lot, but the kids also went through a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the kids, I don't. I feel like the all that kids, the first batch of all that kids,
They didn't go through shit.
they really go through nothing. But I think
No, because the girl with the curly hair, she got blonde hair now. She was like, "Oh, I got older. They were saying I gained too much weight. I was no longer the favorite. Blah blah blah." And I was just like, "Okay."
yeah, and I
I
remember
remember her.
watching. Thank
Yeah, I
you. I
remember her.
remember. And you know
I
what's the
remembered
funny thing
all of
about
them.
seeing? I exactly the funny thing about seeing all of them. I was just like, and I haven't thought of them in years.
Well, the one with the beard, I didn't know who he was at first, but when they showed him when he was a
The
kid,
first
I
one,
was
or you
like,
talk about
the
Brian?
second one.
Okay,
Is his name Brian? The second dude
Brian,
with
little
the
fetus,
beard.
little fetus.
Yeah. Little fetus. I
Yeah,
was like,
and
that's
you know what's crazy? I used to love little fetus.
me too. Like,
Baby, go watch TV. Thank you, baby. Go watch TV. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, okay. Now people wonder why I record when she gone. Now she just putting all this food on my desk in front of me.
I thought she would have been
My
asleep, to be honest.
girl, sleep. She don't sleep in her don't even exist. I promise you, I'm gonna be going to sleep on her.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um,
That's
but
hilarious.
anyway, like I said, it was like kind of heartwarming to see them still alive and being able to. I mean, it was sad to see them like this, of course, but it was still good to see them alive and somewhat doing well because we got some people like Orlando Brown that's not doing the greatest. That it was all out at the same time.
We needed the
Um,
junkies on this documentary.
yeah, we did, but
All
then
the
like,
ones that's on drugs. All the ones.
but we did get a big fish. We got a big fish.
Drake. Yeah, Drake Bell.
Yeah, we got a big fish, but I do think because of this, I do see hopefully Amanda Bynes come out and tell her story. I don't. I think
I
Jamie
don't think
Lynn
she
not gonna
will.
say nothing.
I don't think
I
Amanda
don't think
Bynes will.
I don't think Jamie Lynn gonna say nothing.
She ain't. She happy. She married. She got more kids. She chilling. She ain't gonna say nothing either.
I can't see it. I can't see them. I can't see them doing them coming out. I could see Amanda. I can't see Jamie. If
I
anybody
can never
came out
see
and said
Amanda because
something.
I've been seeing Amanda lately on her podcast thing on
Thank you.
YouTube and TikTok, and she don't talk about nothing from the past.
Because that shit probably hurtful, but you want
Mm.
that bag. They'll start talking.
Off topic, but still on topic. But did you see Kyle Massey and Chris Massey mama make them
And she
videos?
was and she was saying thank you.
She was like, I still stand beside Dan and everything he did for us. And I mean, I ain't mad at her, but it was like nobody was talking to you.
Yeah, but you know her thing. I guess her thing when it comes to that is a matter of perspective. You know what I'm saying? He didn't try no black kids. He really didn't do nothing to no black kids for real.
He didn't, but her point of
Other
view
than making
actually
old
she ended up
girl.
turning it. No, she ended up turning her
Other
point of view to nobody was she was like, y'all paying attention to me saying I'm still supporting him, but y'all not supporting my son. Because, Kyle is still facing charges. Remember he had that show, Millennials on Black,
Mm-hmm.
All Black? And he ended up going to jail, and he got kicked off the show, and so much stuff ended up happening. And she was like, yeah, he's falsely accused, and she was, y'all trying to blame Dan for some stuff the blah 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 whatever that he didn't do, and y'all don't even support my son. And it was just like, first of all, I don't even know what the hell Kyle did. I was trying to figure that out. I know something was drug related, but
Mm.
other than that, I don't know what Kyle did, why he in jail. I remember he got arrested, and that was that. And then Chris Massey came out right after that and was like, well, I'll tell my own story. Like, I don't need my mama to speak for me. But like I said, he already had went on the nasty classified thing, and he already kind of gave his side. He didn't say nothing bad happened to him, but he did say the adult part of it. Or
I do feel like Ned's Declassified started this bullshit.
they did. They did.
And somebody was like, "We got to go to the big fish," because if you think about it in the grand scheme, Ned's Declassified was the small fish compared to all that and all the other shows that they're talking about.
Absolutely.
Let's talk because I know people want to hear it, right? And we are 20 minutes in. Let's talk about the pedophiles on set.
Okay.
First, we'll start with the what's my man's name? The third one. His name was Ezra, whatever Ezra Chanel, something like that. And he brought a kid to the actual parking lot. He was the third one. Because remember, they all had in succession.
Mm-hmm.
He was the third one. He just brought a kid to the lot. They really didn't give a lot on him. It's just really, how do you let this happen?
Because
The
it's
first
easy.
two, the first two is the ones that fucked up. What are their names? Let me see, because I know I wrote their names down.
Uh,
I
David
know
Peck or something Peck.
Brian Peck,
Brian Peck.
and what was my other? Jason Handy.
Yeah, Jason Handy. He the one that sent the dick pic.
Jason Handy. Now, here is why, because here is where we're about to get to the meat and potatoes, and people might have their agreements or disagreements of what I'm about to say. The reason, in my opinion, that you can't, people are saying that how can these parents let this happen?
Easy.
How can the parents let their guard down and let this happen? I'm gonna tell you how. A Jason Handy, right? Jason Handy is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
He got cool with them parents. He got cool with them kids. And it started off simple, simple conversations, and they tell a story about a little girl named Brandy, right? Her dream job was to be an actress in this business. She meets Jason Handy, and she's thinking she's meeting a networker, pretty much meeting a guy in the industry, someone that could probably help her along the way. She ends up her dream was an extra on the Amanda show. What kid wouldn't be excited about that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
They're emailing back and forth, and one day he just sends a picture of him pleasuring himself
Doing his thing.
And telling the girl that he was thinking about her. And as a parent, right? And the Brian Peck one is even worse. This guy is bad because he would sit there and act cool with the kids, let the guard down of the parents. The reason I say people shouldn't be so judgy to the other parent is because if your kid is cool with a person, and that person that's cool with your kid is cool with you, your
You're not
guard is going
finna
to come.
think.
Your
Yeah,
guard,
you
your
ain't finna
guard is
second
going
guess
to
that.
come down. Like
Yeah, that's just
it's no way
it
you're going
was
to think
literally
that.
something
Go
bad
ahead.
would happen. It's
Yeah.
literally equivalent to being around teachers, gym teachers, a school music teacher, like
Mm-hmm.
because I remember being a kid and being cool with my teachers and stuff like that, or even the security guards that was in the school, and later in life finding out, you know what I'm saying, stuff happened to other people. But you can't look at somebody and tell. You'll never be able to look at somebody and be like, oh, he a pedophile. That's not possible. And that's why
Impossible.
those letters for Brian Peck have pissed me off because of murderers
Look.
and pedophiles are the most charming people in the whole world. They're the
Mm-hmm.
nicest, kindest, coolest
They gotta
people.
pull. They gotta pull you in somehow.
Yeah, but you can't tell the difference between somebody being genuinely kind versus being overly kind to make you drop your guard, like you said. But it's impossible to just look at. I mean, it's some people that just look creepy, but you can't look at it. That dude, Brian Peck, looked like a normal ass nigga. I remember
They
him.
both do. I mean, they both do. They both
Right?
did.
Yeah. I remember him being on the Amanda show. I remember those
Yeah.
things. I remember seeing him. Never, ever, ever in my life would have been sitting here thinking, like, sitting there, like, that's a pedophile. Like, how would we
Yeah,
have
and then
known?
they
How would
say
anybody
sitting
have
there
known?
like he was weird walking around with a plate of pickles. I thought
It
him
was
when I
not
was a kid.
weird.
I thought that pickle shit was hilarious because it was just random.
Very. Now, the pickle in the hole thing, you know, me and history, I only knew about that because of some of the
Well,
things
repeat that
about
part. I didn't
brothels
hear
that I,
you.
the pickle in the hole with Ray Romano.
Yeah, like that would that was wild.
When I was a kid, I didn't know, but when I got older and I started seeing stuff, you know, watching documentaries and stuff, that's the only reason why I even knew what I knew what it was now. Because even if I had never seen those documentaries, even right now as an adult, 30+ years old, I probably still would have looked at that scene like, okay.
I was all right. Um, Now I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you the part with Brian Peck that no, not Brian Peck. We still we talk about we'll go back and forth with Brian and Jason. The part that threw me off about Brian was this nigga was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, the serial killer. Yeah.
You had people at your party at your house.
Hmm.
Somebody see a painting of this of a clown, and you show them no problem. But you go on to say, "Yo, this is from John Wayne Gacy," and proceed to show letters and all this type of shit from him. I'm just sitting here like, on ain't no way on God's green earth you could get that shit off today. You wouldn't want to claim that
No.
motherfucker today. Let alone you out here showing pictures and all type of stuff, saying like, "Yeah, we talk." How did you get this far?
Facts. What's my man's
How?
name? That's the serial killer.
That's
That
like
was
me.
what's his
Mm-hmm.
name? The dude that got his rib removed so he could suck his own thing.
Uh,
Mason.
I,
What's his
I
name?
don't. I know who you. Who the hell?
Well, I can't think
Hold
of it right
on, Chloe. Come here. Come get your tablet. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Um,
now.
well, no, what was you saying? What was that? After you,
I can't remember the serial killer name. Anyway, I was just saying it's people obsessed with him too.
I mean, it's a weird obsession with serial
Perry
killers. It is a
Mason,
weird. It is.
Mason
I
Perry.
think
What's his
so. I
name?
think that's.
Something like that. Whatever, whatever, whatever.
I know who you talk about. I just can't think of his name at the moment. I'm sure somebody
Nigga.
will say it in the comments when I post it.
But it's people. I mean, people are obsessed with stuff like that. Like, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as wanting to talk to them or nothing like that, but
Right.
I be watching them kind of documentaries and stuff too. I be obsessed. So I don't know.
But
I
it's
still would
also
not have been like. I mean, I would have been like you creepy, but I still wouldn't name him a pedophile.
no.
I like
But
you
we
creepy
have to
as fuck.
talk about. We got to talk about before we talk about the realest nigga on the dock. The touch
Well,
back on Jason Handy. This man had a whole bunch of yes. Anyway, he had a whole bunch of stuff on his computer, his videos, images
mm-hmm.
of kids being tied up and all type of stuff. It's just
Yeah.
like, but then was telling the girl like and was praying, and then was praying with the girl and was going to Bible study with the girl, if you remember. As a
What?
parent, as a
Mm-hmm.
parent, where was you gonna catch him at? It was like, dog, anybody would have got food. You can't tell me like, oh,
Anybody?
I'm just on it. Hey, look, I'm just on it like that. I would have caught it as soon as it happened. No, like, dog, April Fools.
Right.
You would have. I would have got duped. You would have got
Any,
April Fools. You got me.
that's exactly like how priests have been fondling with those little boys all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, you just gotta watch your kids. I'm glad I ain't got none, cause all you can do is
Man.
that's all you can do is watch them.
Also,
Gotta,
and on the side note, I'm so tired of seeing that fucking meme already. I know you happy you're not on Facebook right now. It's
what
a
man?
meme. It's a meme going around like, yeah, and it is true, but it's like I just seen it posted like 1,000 times already. Basically saying, we gotta protect our boys just like we protect our daughters, whatever. And I'm like, well, I would have did that regardless. Like that, I didn't need a documentary to tell me that.
Can we pause?
Yeah,
Now,
what's up?
I did see Hollywood Unlocked had posted this teacher who ended up getting, or she's going to trial or being convicted of having sex with 12 students, right? I seen this on Instagram. And
Mm-hmm.
when I went through the comments on Instagram, the dudes in the comments were like, who told? I would have effed her too. Who's a victim?
Because
How are
look,
they
man,
victims? And
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
like,
not
that's
because it's that older. It's the older as a guy. It's this older woman thing, and if you, I don't know if you know now, but the teachers today and the teachers that I had growing up,
well, this teacher
the
was not
teachers,
fine.
well, she
This was
probably
not
better than
one
the
of
teachers
them.
I had.
I mean, well, regardless, adults are not
Mine's
supposed to
had
mess with
pimples and
children.
moles on their face. Mine was looking like the lady from Recess.
Anyway, that's not the point. It don't matter if you had a fine teacher. Like you could fantasize. I ain't anybody. Of course, little boys is going to be like, oh my god. But realistically, an adult woman is not supposed to be touching these children. Like no matter
Yeah.
how cool you would have thought you would have been, how fun it might have been, how you know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter. It don't matter if you would have wanted it or it's an adult woman is still not supposed to touch no kid. That is a pedophile. So, but my point was when they trying to say like, oh, we got to protect our boys the same way we protect our girls. The men and the boys are laughing. How are we supposed? How am I going to protect somebody that's not taking it seriously?
It be, I
I
mean,
can't protect you.
because I'm not gonna lie, we don't look at it. We don't look at
The
no
same.
woman teacher trying to do it with us as a sexual predator. Everybody else do.
Exactly. Even though it is. Even though it
No, it
is.
is.
But if you had a son,
And it's not
you would not
funny.
feel that
It's
way. If you had a son, you wouldn't feel
yeah.
that way though. At the same time. But as a of course as a
I'm
woman
not.
we,
But
we see
I
shit like
think
that
that
differently.
I
So.
think that's more so a woman thing because
Absolutely. So that's why I was responding to
I
the
can't really
meme
see
you were
the
saying.
dad. I can't really see the dad being like, "Yeah, son, don't know why you did that one." It's
I
not
can
funny,
see
but
the dad being upset with the teacher, like, why is you touching my kid?
yeah, that's about it. Like I can't really see the whole.
That's
I
why you
don't
need a
know.
healthy balance, because ain't no way in fucking hell. I just can't even see and don't get me wrong, like I said, I understand the fantasy. You definitely get the fantasy. Fantasy is a fantasy. That's like a kid being a little girl being in love with Chris Brown or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We all have fantasies, but to live something like that out, to have sex with teachers, and like I said, in my school it was security guards. Them bitches was having sex with security guards, and I didn't find out till I got grown. I was just like, y'all was doing
That's
what?
crazy.
You know how they be saying people
That's
green? I
crazy.
was green as hell. I ain't know, but
And I'm pretty sure. And I was in the burbs. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that it was happening out there too. Out here too. It's just
everywhere, everywhere,
you know.
everywhere. But some double standards just can't. Like I said, it's hard to defend stuff like that when y'all laughing about it. I
So
can't be like you if you today was like, yeah, if you did have a fine teacher, you was like, yeah, I had sex with my teacher, and I would be like, oh my god, and you would be like,
the fuck you oh my
shit,
god, fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I ain't care. Did you see
How am I
Miss
supposed?
Dennis back in the day?
You see what
Boy,
I'm saying? So that shit hard.
that was
That shit
on. But
hard.
see, and growing up, I think I done had two fine teachers.
We didn't have ugly teachers in my school. I mean, we had some old teachers. We did have some old teachers like Miss Hayes, old ass, her bitch ass. But
Not a bitch.
I used to hate
so,
Miss Hayes.
so
But no, we had some good looking teachers. Like now today, these teachers 25. Our teachers was still older than
they got ass. Titty.
everything. They got style. They
Man,
fucking they us. Like it's us in the schools
we
right
the
now.
teachers.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And which is weird because I know some teachers. I know a high school teacher. Like you a high school like you teach high school students. We were just in high school yesterday.
Yeah. Oh
You're a high
god.
school teacher? That's wild. I know it.
So
Knowing teachers is weird. But
before I forget, right? We got to talk about realistic in the doc. And who was that to you?
the realest one? Who, Drake Bell?
Like dad.
Drake Daddy. That is the motherfucker.
He stood on business, and he knew it was some fishy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it shows how conniving and how people once again the Jason Handy situation of people getting in and letting the guard down, right? It make
Yeah, and
if Drake Bell, because I remember he was saying that his dad Drake was saying his dad was always around. And Brian would get into his mom's ear and in his ear saying, like, your dad's messing up the vibe. Like
mm-hmm.
he's always around, he's always crowding us, like he's making us feel
Trying to help him get
uncomfortable.
emancipated and shit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
helping him get emancipated. No, that was Dan Snyder trying to get Amanda emancipated.
I thought they were trying to get Drake Bell emancipated too.
I don't think so. I think he was just trying to get the dad away because he knew the dad was
But they
protected.
succeeded. Regardless, they really
Anyway,
succeeded. Yeah.
yeah. And
That
he
also goes
eventually
to that
go ahead.
also goes for these fucking teenagers. Like I am so tired of kids thinking they know everything.
but see, you got to keep it a band. When we was 16, we was the same way.
I wasn't. People always say
I
we.
ain't
I
gonna lie.
was.
When I was 16, I definitely thought I knew everything.
I definitely didn't think I knew everything. I was chilling when I was 16, but I
Definitely
was
thought
also
definitely thought I
sheltered,
figured it
so
out.
I knew I did.
I definitely thought I had it figured out at
Even when I
16.
was 18, even when I was 18, I still didn't feel like. But I mean, everybody, I can't compare it to a lot of people. So I mean, I can't sit up here and say I understand that most people thought that they knew everything. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just sick of it. Like
But see,
your
we
parents
also
trying to
wasn't.
protect you, and you went against the grain, and
But
now you got to
also,
be
just think
used.
of it like this: you making life changing money. You got somebody in your ear, like yo, like somebody that you trust
Mm-hmm.
in your ear, telling you like, yo, you really could do this. You don't need him. What is he here
That
for? Like
my
whoopie
point
whoopie whoop.
is my point isn't that he wasn't easily manipulated. That's not my point. Like he was very easily manipulated because that was somebody that his whole family was cool with. Like you know what I'm saying? He like he said he was going over there chilling. We all chilling and stuff like that. It's the fact that you thought you was so grown. You didn't want to listen to your daddy. Then when something happened to you, you also didn't speak up because your
Yeah.
pride got in the way. Your pride got in the way
I
because you
don't.
thought you was grown.
I don't think it. I don't think it was a pride thing, right? I
It's
think it's
definitely
more
a
so a
pride thing.
thing. I don't. I think I never had anything like that happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I feel like I'm more transparent enough to think like how a person would feel in that situation, but I've never actually been in the situation. So as I think about it, I would say like he was probably embarrassed. What is people gonna think about me? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You're
but
still you're still a young
yeah,
man. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. But
Imagine.
his records was very sealed, and when I mean he when he was a teenager, he did file charges. His charges was filed while he was still a teen because of his girlfriend's
Mm-hmm.
mama. But what I'm
My,
saying is, had he kept his
but just
daddy
think
in the back of
on
his mind,
his own mama just kind of let the
because
shit happen.
people back then they didn't really, you know what I'm saying? They just was more lackadaisical, is what I'm trying to say. People was more lackadaisical, and they just felt safe with them people, with the Nickelodeon people.
Yeah, yeah.
But I ain't gonna say I take that back. He didn't. His pride didn't get in the way. I just wish that he would have, if he would have been more so conscientious of what his dad was saying, because that's what I'm saying. When I was a kid, when I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, I used to hear what my parents told me. So if my mama would have been like, look, because you know, my mama, she was hard. So she was going to be like, she
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going to sugarcoat it. She wasn't finna be like, oh, you can't do this because I said so. She was going to be like, you go out, you do this going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And it can
Right.
happen. Like, so I would be conscientious and take a second thought, doing certain things. So I don't know. I just wish that more teenagers would listen to their parents. Is all I'm trying to say.
I mean, I think we listen, but it's also I just remember I just remember being 16 and also being a bigger guy at 16. And I remember
Yeah.
this is a random thing. Um, I tried to fight my dad once, and I remember to like kind of like bossing up on my dad, and he was like, I'm about to shoot your big head," and it was just
Yeah.
it was an eye opening thing because I'm like, damn, like he my own dad gonna take me out, yeah,
Your daddy
I remember
always
that.
used to say he don't fight, he shoot. I remember them days. He's still like that. I
Hey
know he
man,
is, but I remember he used to say that all the time. I ain't got
hey,
time to be
but
fighting.
I
Pop the trunk.
but his dad was a real one, bro, and I respected that, but he didn't care, and he really loved his son. and Brian Peck fucked up his relationship with his son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He put that wedge between them and made them drift apart. I'm kind of glad that they're working on it now, and
Yeah.
they had, by God's grace, you have the time to make that work. Because sometimes you're not that lucky and that fortunate to have that situation work. You know
They
what I'm
ain't show the
saying?
mama, did they? They didn't show his mama.
No, hell
Yeah,
no.
she wasn't finna speak up.
She
She
would
wasn't.
she would she would have got dragged.
Yeah,
She
she was
would have
gonna
got
ruin the
dragged
whole
through.
documentary.
But his dad told him, he said, I would do everything. I will transfer the money. I'll do everything for you. He said, just do me one favor and don't leave my son around him. And you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do that. You
Yeah.
couldn't do that one simple thing. You let the whole okey doke of the, well, I stay in Orange County. It's an hour away from the audition in the morning. I'll bring him back the next day and he'll stay at my house tonight. And the meantime, my old son is at his house. He's getting molested.
Yeah.
And he's and
And
he's
I don't
and
like how
he's
the
so
internet
scared.
coming for. I don't like how the internet coming for Drake Bell either, because when people don't be knowing the whole story, that stuff like that be pissing me off. Because you remember he had his whole incident
Mm-hmm.
with that
And he,
minor.
and he, and he took accountability for that in the doc.
He did take accountability for it, but he also, when he found out how old the girl was, he stopped talking to her. He still caught the charges because it happened, but he didn't know how old that girl was. And I just, like I said, I just don't like how people don't be knowing the whole story. Because people in the
Yeah,
comments, in some of the comments on Instagram, they was like, "Are we forgetting that Drake Bell is a whole pedophile?" And I'm like, technically, he not, because he does not fetishize children or underage girls. He
yeah.
had an incident with an underage girl that lied about her age. Those are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I'm like, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up. That, and then they trying to overlap it and say he did turn into a pedophile. That is trauma. That nigga had went through so much as a teenager. That would be a trauma response if that were the case.
Yeah. And in closing, I think we pretty much probably done at this point. In closing, I do expect more stuff to come out. I expected Disney to be. I don't know if it's gonna be this year. I don't know when, but
We're gonna
I'm
wait for those
pretty
NDAs to
sure
expire.
it's about to be It's probably gonna be a part 2 of the Nickelodeon. But if they could get them Victoria, if they get a Ariana Grande, a Victoria's Justice, and
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lynn or something like that, because you got to think one of the biggest producers in music came out of that Nickelodeon camp.
Who, Leon Thomas?
Uh, Leon Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if something would happen to him, he would have said something. I'm sure.
I would hope he would. I would hope he would, but it
But
just didn't seem like the Black Kids was really getting fucked with like that, though.
yeah,
So
that's what. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I know the
what?
one said that his
Any?
mama was in the way for speaking up for him, but
Yeah, but that's just being a concerned parent. But also,
mm,
I can see like she probably was doing a lot, probably causing hell.
probably was,
You
as
know
she
what I
should.
As she should. That you got to protect your son. If we
Sure
just
do.
if we gonna miss the opportunity, we just missed the opportunity. You know what I'm
And just
saying? It
missed
is
it.
what it is.
Yeah, and I ain't like how they were saying, because when people be like, blame the parents, blame the parents. A lot of the parents on the documentary was saying, because I was thinking the same thing at first, but they were saying like sometimes we weren't allowed behind the scenes. Sometimes we weren't allowed on set. Sometimes we weren't allowed here, there, woody, woody, wood. And the law is that minors have to be with an adult,
Adult the whole
and they
time
were adults. So, yeah,
because they know you can get away with more stuff if their parent not around. They know that. They know that.
yeah. But parents in today's time, these parents ain't playing like that.
Yeah, not at
They
all.
ain't playing
You
like
better not
that.
even say nothing. You
So,
better not even say hi to a kid that's not yours a day. Unless
you,
they talk to you first, you better not say nothing to somebody kid.
You for sure can't tell no parent nowadays that they can't be around. What you mean I can't be around?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I can't be on set. I can't
So
be behind the scenes. Yeah, people not like that
so
no
in
more.
closing, what else? What you got to say in closing, man? What you thinking, man?
I don't even know. My heart is still broken. I think my heart is broken for the times when those kids were actually uncomfortable or realized they were uncomfortable and weren't able to speak up. Um, my heart is broken for anybody that feels any type of trauma today from what happened back then. Heart definitely is broken for Drake Bell and Amanda
Mm-hmm.
Bynes. I don't care. She out here looking all crazy, and because I love her, still love her to this
I
day.
love her
Like I
too.
said, I still
I
follow her.
love her.
I still follow her, and
I don't follow her, but I definitely loved her. Man, that was my
right. She was the girl. She was the girl.
she was
Um,
definitely
but yeah, but yeah, hopefully, I do hope more people come forward with more facts, not that nonsense. I don't care about subliminal adult jokes. I don't care. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care about subliminal adult jokes because we grew up on that. We didn't.
I
We
would
could what?
say I don't care. I just need everybody to be comfortable.
Yeah,
I
comfortable,
need
comfortability, fact,
I just need parameters to be discussed and
facts.
let people and give people the opportunity or the choice to decide if they want to do that action or not. Like the on air, like before we didn't even talk about the on air dares, like the
Because
Kid
I didn't
Fear
understand
Factor.
those. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I didn't understand.
it was a murky.
Yeah, because we watched
It was a murky.
it was a
It was
murky.
very murky on them.
Yeah, and we watched that kind of stuff, and I remember being a kid and wanting to do that shit. I don't care if they was throwing fish on me or not. Like I remember wanting to do that. So
Yeah.
that was kind of
But
pushing it.
in closing for me, I mean, how did you feel about this your first time doing something like this? Did you have fun? Would you do it again?
Yeah, I do it again. I would do
Well,
it again. This just kind of
well,
felt like a conversation, me and Cuz just talking.
yeah. That's the whole goal. I just want people to be comfortable, and I feel it's people. I got a lot of dope people in my actual life
Well, you
that
got
will
a
actually
dope
bring
person in your life.
well person that can actually have a good conversation about a lot of different things. Um, well, I got this platform now, and now it's like I'm about to start using it and having guests on and all that type of stuff now. So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Um, but for now, what I took away from it is keep your kids safe.
Hmm.
Make sure you explain to them what they're getting into.
Hmm.
I know it's hard to see the wolf in sheep's clothing. Let your guard down, but don't be naive.
Hmm.
Girl, oh mama, I'm about to be done. 1 second. Hold on. You gotta turn it down, mama. I'm recording, baby. You gotta turn it down. Anyway, like oh god. Hold on, now she didn't. Mom, what did you do? Come, Chloe. Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, you pretty girl. Hey, she's so pretty.
Anyway, like I said, mm-hmm. That's it, y'all. I know you lying. Um, like I said, just make sure um you can put your guard down. Just don't be naive. And if your kid since your kid having a sense of uncomfortability or anything like that, just make sure you address it.
Mhm.
And other than that, that's all I got to say.
Definitely got you, cuz.
Well, this has been the episode of the Nickelodeon Doc. I hope y'all enjoy it. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be Money will be back. I'll be back, and I will holler at y'all later, man. Have a good night. Say good night. Tell them good night.
Good night.
And now I have to try to edit this and try to make it what it is. I might not edit it at all. We'll see. But all right, y'all. Have a good night, man. I'm gonna use